So I know that Joan Didion said it's easy to see the beginnings of things and harder to see the ends. But this really is one of those moments that life is forcing upon us. So it's been 2 weeks straight of goodbyes and lasts. Last C on a math test, last forensic union, and last ridiculous scheduling choice when I had to get here at 8 a.m. today for this class night rehearsal. Why couldn't it be later? Never mind. I'm coming hot off the blistered heels of prom and am now hobbling over the finish line into graduation season. A time abuzz with backyard grad parties, summer jobs, and friendships formed too late. And it's moments like these that made me reflect on my past 6 years at this institution. The first thing that comes to mind is how many classic high school moments I never got to partake in. I never got to hotbox in the parking lot. I never threw up on the lawn of the Xfinity Theater. And I never got to take a freshman girl to senior prom. Or really any girl that I have a suspiciously large age difference with. I've generally never felt like my life could be soundtracked by Khalid. This is not to say that my school experience was not eventful. In my 6 years here, I've gotten the chance to travel the world with Forensic Union, experiences that I am eternally grateful for. I pretended to understand a Flannery O'Connor book in English class and snuck myself into Symposium, a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And I kissed another person more than once, something I expect them to soon regret if they don't already. So this is the last time I will see most of you if all goes well. This is the last time that many of us will walk the halls that are crawling with these restless ghosts of our pasts. And in the end, I think high school was a little bit like listening to the Migos Culture 2 album. Stay with me here. Because you're enjoying it, but then you see how much is left and you find out after listening to 30 minutes, you still have an hour and 15 minutes of album left. This is all to say that high school was sometimes filled with rushes of dopamine and fun times, and sometimes like an endless march through the gaping maw of Quavo hooks. So anyway, I pass my old selves every day in these buildings. Stop by the chorus room and there's a boy in 7th and 8th grade who wrote slam poetry and listened to My Chemical Romance while walking to choir rehearsal. He had no idea what he was in for, and had no idea how bad middle school was because he didn't know how much better life could be. I wish I could go back in time and give my 7th grade or 8th grade self some advice or heads up. If I could, I'd tell him these things. It's only a date if you can drive the other person. Otherwise, it's a play date if your mom has to drive. Every year, there are going to be more people you don't know and don't have any desire to know. And it won't go by fast either. So pass by the RTS or VR room or whatever it's called now, and there's that cynical and closeted sophomore who is scared of the world and hid himself behind edgy jokes, self-deprecating humor, and sarcasm, not knowing how these things will only do harm to a person in the end. This was the boy who spent his days breaking chairs and playing video games in the RTS room. And by the way, I have another theory about why RTS always ends up like that. I think it's because there are no windows. So if there are no windows, then God can't see you. Which means that people have no shame in playing Fortnite for 3 hours during school and watching anime. Finally, take a seat in Dr. Wayne's office, and there's that junior and senior who also wrote poetry and listened to My Chemical Romance while walking to choir rehearsal. Now he has to contend with the sophomore couples who won't stop touching each other in the hallways, the sage dining meals, and the colleges who love to point out how close they are to much nicer towns. He's learned firsthand about how high school leads to burnout, stress, and cynicism, but he walked out that maw of high school heart and legs intact. Now, old friends and older siblings are coming home and acting as shining examples of how college can open your world, or as horrible warnings of what can happen when someone discovers Nietzsche or Adderall. There are, of course, some things to expect from college as guarantees. Late-night trysts underneath that one poster of Chance the Rapper, vague posting on my Finsta, and, of course, sending it, whatever that means. I believe I currently am a girl on an elevated surface. But all other aspects of college are unknowns. In my dreams, though, college is a place where we can begin to chip away at the crust that surrounds so many of our hearts. A crust that often forms in high schoolers who enter content with themselves and leaving having to have form an armor around themselves, an armor made of apathy and unkindness. College is a place where I can get away from the sophomores and hopefully the 6 a.m. wake-up times. So, hopefully, goodbye to all that. Thank you to Ms. Schloss and Dr. Wayne for your constant guidance and support in my many needs. Thanks to Chastity Rodriguez for always keeping me sane. To all the teachers, I must say I have no idea who half of you are. And to the seniors and juniors, here's what I'll say. And again, you're going to have to stay with me for this one. The first time I met an adult who didn't like strawberries, it blew my goddamn mind. Because I hate strawberries, and I'd only ever encountered adults who A, liked strawberries, or B, must not have liked them but were pretending to. So for most of my childhood, I thought all adults liked strawberries, or at least had to, because that was all I saw. But then, this family friend was brave enough to pick them off for dessert and eat it each bite without the strawberries. And when asked why, she said, "I just don't like them." So I will say this. Seniors, juniors, whoever is still listening, do not let fear prevent you from saying you don't like strawberries. Expressing yourself is often inconvenient. If there is one thing I have learned, it is that there is more than one way to live a good life, but hiding yourself for the comfort of others is an easy way to live a bad one.